Okay, for the intro spectrophotometry lab, what you need to do is one is watch it. Okay, I believe there's 5 videos, and I'll talk about those in a second. Then there'll be a quiz that has directly related to each one of those, and they go in order in terms of the quiz. And then finally, I'd like you to write a few things down and send them to me regarding the lab as well. So let's go. So there's 4 parts to this lab. One was do the calculations to determine concentrations. So this is called dilutions. Figuring out dilutions based on using a stock solution. It's a really powerful tool to use in chemistry, and I think you should be able to do it, and not just have me do it. And so you'll see that I want you to do one of those. The other part is that even though I just seem to you spend 20-30 minutes and watch me do a video, and then you just kind of probably just skip through it and don't really pay attention to it. There's a lot of detail to it, and what I want you to do is look at how I make the solution. So I can't remember which, I believe it's the second video, is how I make the solutions. And I go for a very specific procedure, and I have some very specific glassware and so forth, and we'll talk about that in a second. The third part of what we did is that once we got our solutions, what we wanted to find out is using the spectrophotometer. We found the best wavelength that gives us the best results. We can actually see changes, and you won't have to do anything about that. But that was part of it. It's part of the. You'll see that in the quiz. And then the last part was we took the solutions, and we had different concentration solutions. And then what we did is we measured their wavelength, measured their absorbance, which is how dense the color is at the wavelength we found in the first part of the experiment. Okay, all right. So I'm going to be more specific of what I want from you. All right. So what I want you to do is actually write out how would you make a 200 ml solution that has a concentration of 45.0 times 10 to the minus fifth molarity. Remember, that's moles per liter, with a 20 times 10 to the fourth molar stock solution. Okay. All right, and you go back and look at the videos and the worksheet. I'd show you, and not the worksheet, but the sheet I showed you that I wrote out how to do these calculations. That'll show you how to do that. Make sure you send that to me with the calculations. All right. What I also want you to do is tell me how would you make this solution up. Okay. All right. So be very specific about it. All right. I had a volumetric flask. I had a beaker. I had stir bars. I had I had pipettes, graduated cylinders. I had one step, and then next step, and next step. So I want you to write that down, okay? Show me that you pay attention to it. And then finally, part 3 of this is that, and you'll find this on the quiz. On the quiz, actually goes through all of, it comes up with the, so on the quiz. So on the experiment where he did Beer's law, we came up with a curve, and then we came up with an equation, y equals mx plus b. Okay, well, y actually is the, so we had, what was it, absorbance over concentration. Okay, and so absorbance equals the slope times concentration plus b. Okay, so that's that, and that's that. And so on the quiz, you knew what M was and B. Okay, so I want you so write this equation out with its actual M and B, and show me how I came up with the samples concentration. So you had to rearrange the equation, so C equals so forth. All right. So you need to send me three things. One, how to make this solution, and don't forget your units. And it looks like how many sig figs. This is 200.0, so 2 sig figs. Right, see how good you can do this. And then finally this here. Okay, so that's it along with the quiz.